Hello everyone, this is the quick video how to set up this transaction app and on your local system. Also, I'm recording this video for the first time. I might be a little bit nervous, so let's first clone the repo. Open this in VS Code, and now I have to change server env file MongoDB password with my password. So let me just change it. Here is the password field. I just change it this, and after this I have to go to the CD client folder, yarn install and yarn dev. Similarly with the CD folder, yarn install and yarn dev. So let me first go to the server folder, yarn install and yarn dev. Similarly with client folder, frontend folder, yarn install and yarn dev. So as you can see, our backend has been running in the port 5000 and we are connected to MongoDB. We are still, so let's first check if our backend is properly running or not with the health check route, and as you can see, our backend is working. We are still installing. So for the time being, I just explain the server side. So this app I have written in the Node.js along with the Express.js, and the entire project of frontend and backend has been written in fully TypeScript with the TypeScript. So here are the backend dependency I have used: cookie parser, course.env, Express, and Mongoose. These are the only packages I have used for the backend. So all the code goes into the src folder. This is our index.js file. Controller. So let me explain the folder structure. These are the controllers. Basically route handlers. So I have made two route handlers: wallet route handler, controller. I have a lib folder which will be like, it contains two files. First is the connect to MongoDB function. Next is the utils files. These are the some utility functions I have written. Round to 4 decimals, incoming request, error handling, health check, logging the every incoming request. That's it. Again, I have the middleware. This is a simple middleware. I have not written any logic here, just simply calling the next function. But if we want to authenticate, here we can check that if the user is authenticated or not. Next is the models folder. I have declared the Mongo collection models here. In the first is wallet model and second is the transaction model. Now again, the routes folder. This is the public routes. I haven't written any public routes yet, and this is the wallet routes. So I have made 6 APIs out in this wallet. The wallet setup, it is responsible for creating the wallet. It is for the put request wallet ID, so update the wallet and get the wallet. And here's how to make a transaction, a route to get all the transaction, and another route to export the transactions. So here are the routes. Services. So this is a reusable logic I have written here. So I have made a transaction class in which there are two major functions: create transaction and get transaction. So I am reusing get transaction 2-3 times. We'll back to that later. Now again, the validation schema. So here I have written simple JavaScript validation schemas for verifying that the body we are getting in the payload in the request body is valid or not. So so let's me first go into the index.ts file. So index.ts file I have, so first of all I have imported the .env file, then the port, initialize the Express app using code star all. So using to pass the cookies and body, I'm using this incoming to log the every incoming request. This is a health check route. Public routes I have shown you. The public route I haven't written anything here. This is a simple middleware with the next function calling no extra logic. This is the wallet router. Every incoming request regarding the wallet will be goes to here. Again, this is the error handling function. We connect to MongoDB and start our server app. So if we go to the wallet router, this is the wallet router. So first route is to create the wallet. So in order to create the wallet, so this goes into the wallet controller. So it is the create wallet function, get wallet function, and update wallet function. So let's first talk about the create wallet. So I'm getting balance and name from the request body, then check it, then validating the body if it is true or not. If the result if the data is not valid, I just throw an error, and then after that I check if the same the wallet with the same name exists or not. And if the wallet with the same name exists, first I was returning the error like this wallet with already exists, but now I'm returning the existing wallet without showing an error, and I'm not updating the initial balance if the wallet is already existing. Okay, now if the wallet does not exist, so I'm just creating a new wallet with the balance and the name field, and after that I'm with the balance 00, and now after that I'm rounding off the balance with the 4 digits as mentioned in the task. So after that I'm just creating a new transaction that with to make a transaction that the user have given with the initial balance. So I'm crediting that initial balance in order to make a new transaction. So after making a transaction, I'm updating the wallet balance with this new balance, and here I'm resolving both promises at once to save the time, and sending the results with the ID, balance, name, and date. Similarly, if we talk about the get wallet by ID, so get wallet by ID, I'm getting the wallet ID from the parents, checking the results, and getting wallet from the MongoDB, and deselecting these two fields. And if the wallet is found, I'm just returning the response. Similarly, we have the update wallet. I'm getting ID from the parents, name from the body, and if I found the wallet, I just simply update the name and send the response. Next, if we talk about the transaction controller, we have 3 major routes: create transaction, get transaction, and export transaction. So if we talk about the create transaction part, so I'm getting wallet ID from the parents, amount and description from the body. Here I'm checking whether they are valid or not. If they are not valid, I'm throwing an error. This is the transaction services. I have shown you the reusable transaction service class. So I'm initializing that class and uh, and calling the create transaction function with my variables, sending the variables. So if I show the create transaction part, so here I'm getting all these variables from the controller, getting the wallet from the DB if wallet is not returning wallet and transaction to be null, updating the converting the amount to the round of 4 digits, getting that whether the amount is positive or not to decide the credit or the debit, making a new transaction, resolving both the promises, return the wallet and the new transaction back to the controller. Here I'm just, if new wallet and the transaction is found, I'm just sending back it to the user. Similarly to the get transaction part, so in the get transaction part, I have to do like I have to also apply the filters and the sorting. So I'm getting wallet ID from the query parameters, skip from the query parameters, limit from the parameter, date type short order, date, like I have to short the date short order, amount short order. So date short order and amount short order should be 1 or -1. If the wallet ID is not, I'm just throwing an error. So after that, again I'm initializing the transaction class and just sending the variables to the get transaction. So if I go to the get transaction function, so here I'm getting the wallet ID, creating the wallet ID to the Mongoose ID, and here I'm using our aggregation query, aggregation MongoDB query. First I was querying with the simple MongoDB query, but later on I have decided to go with the aggregation query because there are multiple things to do. So here is the $match. So whatever the key I have to match, like I have to match the wallet ID. Now in the project we go with the keys I have to like get from the DB. So ID, balance, amount, description, and date. So here I have written that like I have to change the updated at key to the date as mentioned in the task. So if I got, and after making the pipeline, I'm just updating the pipeline whether I have received the filters or not. Like if the amount short order is 1 or 1, then I'm pushing that pipeline amount short by into the key by short order. Similarly with the date short order, and again like I'm putting for the skip for the pagination and the limit. And here I'm just getting the transactions with the aggregate query and the count document to find the total number of documents, and just returning the transactions back to the previous page where to the controller here. And if I get the transaction, I'm just returning the transaction. See me, the same controller with the export transaction, I have pulled the same transaction function used here. And after getting the transactions, I am just creating a CSV file and sending it to the front end. So this is all the front end video, back end video. And now let's talk about the front end. So in the front end, I have used the React White app. So this is our index.html. And if we go to this is our main app folder. So majorly I have used 2 libraries for this, set scene UI and tailwind strings to sell this thing, and this is our main TX app. So here I am using, so this is the route provider where I have mentioned all the routes. This is a toaster to show the toast and the alerts notification, and this is just a component to show all the loaders. And I have also used the Justand library for the state manager, which is an alternative of Redux. So if we take a look about our folder structure, so types is a folder which is responsible for all the type declarations. Validation is a folder which is responsible for create all the schemas, like validation schemas in forms. So and store folder is responsible for using the Justand, or we can say state management library. So here I have mentioned all the states I have used throughout the project, and if you can see, I'm getting my local wallet ID, storing my wallet ID from the local storage, and storing it in local storage and getting it from the local storage. So next, if we talk about the network folder, services folder. So services folder, I have written simply 4 functions in the network class: a get function to fetch the get request, post function, put function, delete function, and a download file function, which is added to download the file. This entire logic, like I haven't written, I have copied it from the internet. So again, this is a local storage class. Local storage, again I have written 4 different functions to get the keys, to set the key from the local storage, remove and clear. If we see, this is the screens folder. Screens folder is responsible for everything you see on the screen. And routes folder is responsible, routes file is responsible for all the routes in our app. So basically, majorly there are 3-4 routes in our app. First is the create wallet route. If you are not authenticated, you will see that create wallet app. If I show you just this. So this is the first screen, create wallet route. Again, so if I have the wallet ID, it will go into the protected route. So protected route is just simply checking if I'm authenticated or not. If I'm not authenticated, navigate back to the create wallet. Similarly, auth routes, if I'm not authenticated, route me. If I'm authenticated, route me to the home page. Otherwise, the create wallet route. Yeah. So this is the first home screen app, and this is the transaction. I have made only 2 screens. Next, if we talk about the cons library folder, so in library folder I have declared 2 major static options for the transaction: credit, debit, and sort by the 4 select options, date, sort by field for the type select. And this is the utility function. So I have declared format date and time functions here. Also to check if a object is valid or not, to handle the error, and show errors for every network API field. So this is the hook folder. So hooks folder, I have created 2 major hooks for use transaction service and use wallet service. So every data fetching logic goes here. So in the transaction service, I have declared 3 services: create transaction, get transaction, and export transaction. So here I am getting the variables from the main component, fetching the request, and and storing the data into our state management. So every data logic goes into this custom hooks I have made. So screens component are not responsible for any data filtering logic. All the logic fetching goes into both these files. So if we see the wallet service, again I have declared two functions, setup wallet and get wallet functions, and here I am exporting the current wallet get wallet services. If we go to the assets folder, this is simple file, a components folder. So this is the UI folder which the library gives if we install it. So this is the basic folder. This is the header folder to show the header. If I just show you the header, this is the header, static header. So here I am just using the wallet ID to get my wallet. Using the wallet service, in the wallet service I am fetching the request to get my wallet, and a simply logout button and a wallet button. So these are the four majorly components I have used. A create transaction form. If you see this is the create transaction form. I have used a select field, a input field, a text area field, and a button to submit. And after that, I'm just in the submit function, I'm just validating whether it is true or not. If it is not true, then I'm showing an error. If it is true, then similarly, a create transaction function is like written in the use transaction service. And if it is the promise is resolved, I'm just resetting the inputs, and after making a transaction, I am recalling my get my wallet again to get the refreshed balance and the transactions again to show the recent transactions. So if you see 55 this, my wallet will be updated, and this is the also my transaction has been updated. Similarly, a create wallet function with the two input field to the name and the balance. As similarly, a submit function validating the data, calling the setup wallet function from the use wallet services, and a dashboard cards. So this is a reusable function. I'm getting the data from the parent component and showing all the cards within necessary. So here I'm rendering the title, icon is a React node. If I show you, these are the four cards. So I'm making that data in my home screen and just showing that with the help of a reusable component. Again, a recent transaction. So recent transaction component is just getting the data from this parent component and showing the table. So I have used this recent transaction component two times. First is here and second is here. So this is the same component I'm using in both the screens. So if I just now the screens folder. So this is the basic loader function. So I'm showing a loader. This is a basic error screen. Now if I show you the so in the first screen we see the create wallet screen. So create wallet screen, before rendering the create wallet screen, this is the auth layout I am like CSS I am using and returning the outlet. After that create wallet screen, and create wallet I am just returning the create wallet form that I have shown in the components folder here, create wallet form. So this component I am using in the screen to make it reusable. If I have to show later on, I have to show it in the pop-up. Again, in the protected write I have similarly in the protected write I am using that header CSS and the returning the outlet in the home screen. So in the home screen, I have exported the get transaction function to fetch the service, to fetch the transaction using my states. And if I have the like auth session, I'm getting the transactions here. And this is all the cards data. I'm talking about the cards you see here. If I go back, this is all the cards data you see here. I'm making these cards here name, extracting the name from the current wallet status, showing the updated balance transactions. So this is the dashboard cards. So this is, and again, this is the transaction header card and recent transaction component, reusable component, table component I have shown you here. And again, a create transaction form, which we already talked about in the components folder. And if we talk about the transaction screen, so transaction screen, so if we go to the transaction screen, so you can see I have like with the help of the URL parameters, I have URL query parameters. I'm using the URL parameter to fetch the request. If you can see, like if I just go to the date currently it is 0. And now if I just, it is now -1. So I'm using all this. So in the transaction folder, I'm fetching all the parameters, query parameters here. Okay, if I go into the use effect, so in the use effect, I am just checking if I get all the search parameters on it. If I get all the search parameters and on change of any of these parameters, I'm recalling my transaction function from the wallet service to fetch the request based on the parameters. So, and if I'm on not a like a valid route, if any parameter is not defined, I'm just navigating to a default route with these variables, these values, and I'm just making a new URL. Yes. So this is the transactions folder and current transaction. This is the select to change the filters here, and export button. In the export button, if I show you this export button, I'm just exporting transactions with my existing filters on, like date and amount, and I'm calling that export transaction function from use transaction service, the hook that I have shared with you. If I go to the bottom, so as you can see here, I am also using the same reusable component, recent transaction reusable components, and below that I am using paginations for showing the next and previous buttons. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit pretty long, but thank you.